There, sitting in the front row, Scarlett glared at me, her lips twisted into a smug smirk as if she was certain my day had already been ruined. She leaned back in her seat with arms folded, waiting for me to break down, to walk down the aisle in humiliation, stripped of the dream I had built for years. But instead, I walked forward with steady steps, the weight of my father's hand firm on my arm, giving me courage. The guests whispered among themselves, some noticing my gown wasn't the one I had displayed during my fittings. Instead of the slashed lace Scarlett had destroyed, I now wore a breathtaking dress of simple yet elegant design, a gown that had once belonged to Maya, my mother-in-law, carefully preserved from her own wedding decades ago. When I had seen it earlier, tears welled up in my eyes. "This is too precious, I can't wear this," I had whispered. Maya only smiled warmly. "I kept this for years, waiting for the right bride in our family. Today, that bride is you. Don't let anyone, family or not, take your joy from you." Her words had stitched the wounds Scarlett left, giving me a strength I didn't know I possessed. Now, as I walked down the aisle, I felt something shift inside me. Scarlett's cruelty no longer defined me. The dress I wore carried a deeper meaning. It was not just fabric and lace. It was love, resilience, and the blessing of a new family welcoming me with open arms. Kelvin's eyes widened when he saw me, his lips parted in awe, and then slowly, his expression softened into a radiant smile that eased all the pain of the morning. As I reached the altar, he whispered, "You look even more beautiful than I ever imagined." I fought to keep my composure, but tears blurred my vision, not from sadness, but from relief, from triumph. I wasn't broken, I was rising. The ceremony began, and every vow, every promise, resonated deeper because of the trial I had endured. Each word I spoke carried defiance towards Scarlett's bitterness. And yet, even as I stood there, exchanging vows, I could feel her gaze burning holes into me. Scarlett fidgeted in her seat, restless, almost angry that her sabotage hadn't succeeded. At one point, she muttered something under her breath, earning a sharp look from my mother. But I refused to let her steal another second of my joy. When Kelvin and I finally sealed our vows with a kiss, the chapel erupted in applause. The sound was thunderous, overwhelming, and healing. I had made it to this moment, not in ruins, but in radiance. Later, at the reception, Scarlett approached me with a glass of champagne in her hand. Her smile was brittle, her eyes sharp. "Well," she said sweetly, "I suppose things turned out tolerable, but don't think everyone was fooled. They all noticed the dress wasn't the one you bragged about." I set my glass down and met her gaze steadily. "Scarlett, people didn't notice a missing dress. They noticed that I was happy, and that's something you'll never be able to take away from me." For the first time, Scarlett's smirk faltered. Behind me, I felt Kelvin's hand rest on the small of my back, grounding me. My new family surrounded me, their smiles genuine, their love real. And in that moment, I realized something important. My wedding day wasn't ruined. Scarlett hadn't destroyed me, she had only revealed the strength I carried inside. My name is Mara, and this day wasn't just about becoming a wife. It was about becoming myself, someone who could endure betrayal, rise from despair, and still stand tall in love. And as the music played and laughter filled the room, I smiled, knowing this was only the beginning of a life I would live on my own terms, with no shadows from Scarlett's bitterness dimming my light. As I walked down the aisle, I saw Scarlett, who had clearly expected me to appear in a tattered, hastily stitched dress. The look on her face was priceless. Her eyes widened, her lips parted in shock, and she froze in her seat, as if the ground beneath her had given way. For once, my younger sister, who had always worn arrogance like a crown, seemed speechless. I held my father's arm with pride and dignity, my heart steady despite the chaos Scarlett had tried to unleash earlier. The music swelled, echoing through the chapel as the guests rose. Their admiring murmurs were not just for the beauty of the gown, but for the confidence with which I carried myself. When I reached the altar, Kelvin took my hand from my father, his eyes glistening with love and awe. Scarlett shifted uneasily in her seat, fidgeting with a handkerchief until she tore it apart in frustration. I caught her movement out of the corner of my eye, but I refused to let it distract me. This day was mine. We exchanged rings, recited our vows, and sealed them with a kiss under a shower of rose petals. The applause and joy from those gathered wrapped around me like sunlight. I glanced once more at Scarlett as we walked back down the aisle together. Her face was pale, her smirk gone. For the first time, it wasn't me shrinking under her scorn, it was her, wilting under her own bitterness. After the group photos outside, we proceeded to the reception venue. The air was alive with laughter, music, and the fragrance of fresh flowers. It all went so smoothly, I said softly to Kelvin, relief washing over me. He leaned closer, his eyes never leaving mine. You look more beautiful than I ever imagined. That dress, it's perfect, you're perfect. I smiled, grateful, but just as we entered the hall, Scarlett's voice sliced through the joy like a blade. Wait, why are you wearing such a nice dress? She shouted, her tone dripping with disbelief and venom. She stood, pointing at me, her eyes wild. That long veil, that tiara, it's too glamorous for someone like you. You're supposed to be invisible next to me, not shining like some queen. You don't have the right to stand out like this. The room went silent, guests turned, their faces caught between shock and discomfort. Scarlett's outburst was brazen, even for her. I drew in a steady breath, letting my voice carry calm authority. Scarlett, it doesn't matter if I'm seen as beautiful or not. Every bride has the right to wear what she loves and feel special on her wedding day. You've always belittled me, but today, you cannot take this away, not anymore. Murmurs of agreement rippled among the guests, but Scarlett, unable to stop herself, pressed on. I'm the one who's always taken care of myself, I'm the prettier one, and yet I'm alone while you, someone so average, get married first. It's unfair, she cried, her voice breaking with rage. She lunged at me suddenly, her hands reaching for the veil. Scarlett, stop, I cried, stepping back. This dress belongs to Kelvin's mother, her wedding dress. Don't you dare ruin it. The staff and Kelvin rushed forward, restraining her. She thrashed in their grip until the words sank in. That dress, your mother-in-law's? Scarlett blinked in disbelief before sneering. So it's second-hand after all. I knew it, you're pathetic, wearing rags and acting proud of it. How humiliating for you. Before I could respond, Maya, my mother-in-law, stepped forward with quiet dignity. Her voice, though gentle, commanded attention. This is no rag, Scarlett, this is a couture gown, handcrafted by a renowned designer. When I first wore it, it cost $320,000. Adjusted for today's market, it's worth even more. A collective gasp rippled through the guests. Scarlett's face drained of color. What? 320,000? She stammered. Yes, Maya replied, her tone even. It has been preserved with the utmost care. I entrusted it to Mara because she is kind, humble, and worthy of wearing it. Scarlett's knees seemed to buckle. But why her? Why not me? She's nothing compared to me. Because she values love over appearances, Maya said simply. Kelvin stepped in then, his gaze locked on Scarlett. Do you want to know why I chose Mara? Because she's not like you. Every woman I dated before her only cared about my wealth. But Mara, she insisted on splitting bills, sharing rent, and paying her share of the wedding expenses. She never saw me as a wallet, but as a partner. That's why I fell in love with her. Scarlett's mouth opened, then closed again. She looked around, expecting support, but all she found were disapproving glares. Our parents bowed their heads, shame written across their faces. Scarlett scoffed, trying to recover. So what? This whole show is boring. I'm leaving. She turned to storm out, but I stepped forward, my voice sharp as steel. Wait, Scarlett, you think you've gotten away with what you did, but you haven't. She froze, eyes narrowing. What do you mean? You destroyed my original wedding dress. Don't deny it, I have proof. The venue has surveillance cameras in every preparation room. Her confidence shattered. Cameras? No, you're bluffing. This is my venue, Scarlett, I revealed. Gasps filled the hall. I designed it, built it, and now manage it. And yes, I had cameras installed to prevent theft or vandalism. They recorded everything. Your actions are on tape. Scarlett staggered back as if struck. You run this place, but you were just an office worker, plain, boring Mara. I was, I admitted, my voice steady, but my dream was always weddings, with Kelvin's mother as my partner. I opened this venue. Today, you tried to ruin my day, but instead, you revealed exactly why I worked so hard, to protect joy from people like you. The guests broke into applause. Scarlett's face twisted with rage and humiliation. You'll pay for the dress you destroyed, I concluded firmly. If you don't, I'll file charges. Her defiance crumbled. She stammered something unintelligible before rushing out, her heels clicking furiously against the floor. The reception resumed after she left, warmer than before. Guests congratulated me, praising my strength. Our parents apologized tearfully, promising they would no longer excuse Scarlett's cruelty. Maya embraced me, whispering, "You've proven you are truly part of our family." In the weeks that followed, Scarlett was forced to leave home. Word of her tantrums spread quickly, friends distanced themselves, colleagues whispered, and her once flawless reputation crumbled. Meanwhile, Kelvin and I thrived. Together with Maya, I began designing my own line of wedding dresses at the venue. Brides who wore them radiated happiness, and I felt healed with each gown I created. Looking back, I realized Scarlett's sabotage had been the turning point of my life. She tried to break me, but instead, she pushed me into my destiny. This wasn't just my wedding day, it was the day I stepped fully into the woman I was meant to be.